Premier League football is back, and later today we are open for 3 games. I'll be going down in the English Premier League. The Emirates Stadium is going to be a party between Arsenal and Fulham. I will look into that game on the show this afternoon. We focus on Wolverhampton Wanderers playing against West Ham United. One of the biggest games that will be going down this evening. Nottingham Forest at the City Ground playing against Manchester United. A beautiful afternoon to you, sport lovers. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Sport Today on the biggest sporting platform on 103.5 FM. We are live broadcasting from Bodija here in the brown roof city of Ibadan to give you the latest and the biggest coming from the world of sport. Definitely on the show this afternoon, apart from the Premier League, I will look into the trending stories coming from the world of NBA this afternoon. I will put you all to speed, give you the information coming from the world of table tennis. And don't forget the drama going down in the Nigerian Premier Football League. Lobby Stars of Makurdi. I will give you the latest coming from the camp of Lobby Stars this afternoon. Once and again, my name is Ayomikun Adeniyi. Of course, you can simply call me Purity. Guess what? I'm not alone in the studio this afternoon. I got my brother with me. Samuel Akidu is in the studio. Good afternoon, City Boy.
It feels good to be back in the studio for the very first time in the month of April. Yeah. Good afternoon to you and happy new month to you, of course, to our esteemed listeners as well. Most especially the fans of English Premier League football, because English Premier League, like you mentioned, is back. It's back tonight. The running is here, the business end of the season, and the end starts today, and it's going to be an uninterrupted drama and action from now until the final day. These are the moments that that define the season.
Moments.
Yeah, these are the decisive moments. The moments where every point and every goals, every point counts and matters. Whether for the supremacy, whether for qualification for European football or for survivor. So every point matters now, and you know that just 9 more matches to go until the end of the season. This is the business end of the season. Actions are back tonight. Manchester United will be in action. Arsenal will also be in action. Good one for them that Bukayo Saka is back and is going to be in contention for that game. Crucial game for Arsenal, and we have so many talking points, of course, from the English Premier League, like you mentioned. Also in the Nigerian Premier Football League, we have some trending stories, developing story from Lobby Stars. So it's going to be very, very interesting to discuss these actions today on the show. So let's just get straight into the action without wasting much of our time.
All right, when it's time is right, we'll listen to the coach of United this afternoon, talking about Ruben Amorim. And don't forget, the coach of Nottingham Forest. We get to listen to them and get the feedback coming from the game that will be going down later this evening. Then the Copa del Rey is going to be a big one because Real Madrid will be in action against Real Sociedad. So, guys, let's jump into action this afternoon. City Boy, let's start from the biggest game that I'll be seeing this evening. Nottingham Forest. We know they are doing this, and they'll be playing against United at the City Ground. Yeah,
it's going to be very, very interesting match. It's going to be a cracker because of the form of both clubs. Nottingham Forest, they've done so well this season. I have big respect for their manager, talking about Nuno Espirito Santo. He has done quite a brilliant job with the guys, taking them to third on the log in the Premier League and also qualifying for the semi-final of the FA Cup. He has done very, very well. He has transformed this team from a relegation-threatening team to now a team that is contending and pushing for UEFA Champions League football. But however, I've seen so many people saying that they are scared of Nottingham Forest, especially some matches. I know
they should be scared of
because
the recent form of Nottingham Forest.
The recent form of Nottingham Forest is scary. However, I believe Manchester United should also be able to go head-to-head with Nottingham Forest at the City Ground today. Why do I say so? Because if you look at Manchester United, their recent form has been incredible.
Before the
international break, they had a they've been on form before the international break, and during that period, some of their key players were not available. Some of their players, especially in the defense, some of their players were missing in action before international break, and now that some of them are back already, and so if you go by their recent form before international break, they play 7 games without losing, except the one they lost on penalty to Fulham in the FA Cup. So we can say that they play 7 games unbeaten before international break, even with some of their players unavailable. Now that some of their players are now back, the likes of Harry Maguire is back, Lenny Joro is back, Mason Mount is back, Lucha is also back. But
yes, it's good to have Mason Mount back in that team.
So you could see that it's going to be very, very interesting to see how these guys can also play together. The likes of Mason Mount, they have options now. And if you look at the last meeting of both clubs, the last time they played, Nottingham Forest came to Old Trafford and they defeat Manchester United 3 goals to 2.
Yeah.
However, that loss was, it's due to some individual errors because United dominated that game. I'm not speaking from.
Let's talk about the recent form right about now. Talking about Nottingham Forest, their last game against Brighton at the FA Cup, we saw them winning that game. But then before the international break, they played again against Ipswich Town. They won away from home 4 goals to 2 against City. Also,
they won their 2 games in the month of March.
Definitely. So going into this game, I think they have the biggest chances to claim the maximum 3 points later this evening.
Well, we can see on paper and because of their form, we can say that they have like 70 or 60% of getting the 3 points, and the fact that they are playing at home. However, Manchester United also have everything to play for.
Definitely.
And you know that Nottingham Forest played on Saturday over 120 minutes of football, which means
against
that
Brighton.
United against Brighton in the FA Cup, which means that United would have enough recovery time going into this game. Maybe Manchester United will be playing against tired legs of Nottingham Forest because they play on Saturday. But if you are to put the current form of both clubs into consideration, like I said, United were unbeaten in 7 games before international break, and now that they have addition of players returning from injury, it's going to be an added advantage for them going into this game. Anything can happen. I don't see United losing this game. A draw would definitely be very, very good for them. They would definitely will not lose this game. They can fancy their chance of getting a draw away from this game. And you know this month is going to be crucial for them.
Definitely.
They have 7 games this month.
7
big
games.
Up next after this game will be against Manchester City on Sunday. They would then travel to Lyon to take on Olympic Lyon in Europa League.
But thank God some of the players are back.
That's what I'm saying.
So they have the large squad now to face and pass all these guys.
Yes, the fact that their key players are back now, we give Amorim opportunity, to have enough options to select. So now he has a large squad, and let's see how they can go. But I believe that it's going to be a very interesting game between United and Nottingham Forest tonight.
All right, guys, let's listen to the coach of United this afternoon talking about Ruben Amorim.
Luke is not ready yet. We are starting doing some drills with the team, but we are building Luke. Mason Mount is feeling better, but he was already on the bench on the last game. I think Kobe is almost returning also, but he's not ready for this game. Johnny Evans is recovering. Aiden is recovering. Who else? Leach is out, like you know that. I think that's it. Maguire is also ready to go to the game.
And Euro as well?
Euro, yes.
And with Aiden, obviously there was a lot of concern when he went down. How severe does that look?
No, it was not so serious. So he's recovering. He's not ready to play, but he's going to return this season for sure.
All right, Ruben Amorim is speaking about the game later this evening. Let's talk about United injuries.
Yeah, he was giving updates about United players returning from injury. And just like I mentioned earlier, if United could go 7 games unbeaten, even with injury crisis before international break, you wonder what they can do now that some of their key players are back to the team.
It's a plus.
It's going to be a very, very good advantage for them. And not just for this game, but for the month of April, because like I said, they have 7 big games coming up in this month. 4 away games, 3 home games, so they need to get ready. And the fact that he now has a large squad, to options everywhere for him to pick from, is going to be very good for him.
Right.
Nottingham Forest, no disrespect to their form, they've been very, very decent, but I can tell you that they are not formidable. They can still be beaten. They are not unbeatable.
Definitely.
You can still beat them.
This is football.
Of course, this is football.
No
Anything
matter
can happen.
how the form you have currently, if you are not careful, you might even lose at home.
Of course. Arsenal went to the City ground without a striker, and they picked a point away from there. Anything can happen. Possible. I know that they stand a very good chance because of their current form and the fact that they are eyeing UEFA Champions League football and they are playing at the City ground again. It's going to be a very, very good game. However, United can pull up a surprise.
All right, up next is at the Emirates Stadium where Arsenal will be playing against Fulham. The first leg ended in a 1-1 draw. So later today, Bukayo Saka is back. Massive boost to the young Gunners going into this game later this evening.
There's no better news for Arsenal to start the month of April with than Bukayo Saka back and is in contention to start this game. He hasn't played since December 21st, 2024.
Since last year.
That's over 3 months. That's over 3 months since he's been in action. So he has missed the last 19 games for Arsenal. And so you could see that this is a good news for Arsenal, and this is a bad news for the defenders, their opponents, because you know what this guy can bring to the table. You know that he's a very, very skillful and pacey player.
Very
he also
creative,
very creative as well. He even the fact that he missed three months of actions, he is still second. He's still second. I mean, the player with the second most assists in the league.
Yeah.
He has 10 assists. So for me, Bukayo Saka's return will be a boost for Arsenal, and it's going to be a very, very key determinant to how their season will end. For whatever aspiration they have for the remainder of the season, Bukayo Saka will be very, very instrumental. Don't forget, they are still in the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals, and so they have so many important games in the month of April as well. After this game against Fulham, they will go away from home to play against Everton, and then they will host Real Madrid in the UEFA Champions League next week before they now travel again to Santiago Bernabeu to play against Real Madrid. And we know that according to what we can say on paper, we know that the odds are against them because they are
against Real Madrid,
because
right?
they are up against the defending champion and the most successful team in the Champions League. However, they have a decent record against Real Madrid.
Yes.
They are still the only team that has never lost.
I think they played in the year 2005. 2005.
They have never lost a game
against Real Madrid. Okay, let's wait and see what will happen.
But I think this game tonight should be, the matter
of discussion. I mean, let's focus on that Arsenal game.
Yeah, I believe
their last Premier League game was against Arsenal, against Chelsea in London derby. They were playing against Fulham again, another London rival, which is supposed to be a win for them. They were playing at home, and with a massive boost of Bukayo Saka. Even without Bukayo Saka, they have Mikel Moreno getting goals for them. Even without Kai Havertz, they are finding ways to get more 3 points. So tonight should not be a problem for them.
They played 2 games in the month of March, United and Chelsea. They didn't lose. They draw United, they won Chelsea. Yeah. Good one for them. It shows how Mikel Arteta is still managing to, actually manage the score that he has. Merino scoring for them and the likes. But now that Bukayo Saka is back, it's going to be a very good addition in the attack. It's going to be very, very good. It's going to reinforce their attack. And now that they know that they have option, of course, it's going to bring that spark from the the right hand side of the attack. Good one for them. I'm not expecting anything less. They are 12 points behind the table leader Liverpool, and they know that they can. This is an opportunity for them to close the gap because Liverpool will play tomorrow, and it's going to be a Merseyside derby for Liverpool
against
because
Everton.
they are playing against Everton. We know what happened in the first leg at the Goodison Park. So Arsenal will fancy their chance of closing the gap. We know that mathematically it is not over, but realistically we know that it's not going to be easy for them to win the Premier League. But their main target will be to finish well in the league, to try as much as possible to close the gap. And this is the kind of game that they need to win to start the month on a very good note. I see them winning this game at the Emirates Stadium with Bukayo Saka back. This is going to be a very, very good plus for Arsenal.
All right, all to play for in the Premier League as we speak. Arsenal second on the log with 58 points, followed by Nottingham Forest with 54 points. Chelsea fourth position. Chelsea fans are praying that United should do the magic to defeat Nottingham Forest later this evening so that they can close up the gap. But then they'll be playing against Tottenham Hotspur later tomorrow. Yeah, another big game for the Chelsea team.
It's a London derby, but Chelsea just know how to manage and find their.
But then Chelsea played against Chelsea and they lost.
Of course, it's in training, and that's not it should not even be a big deal.
Before the international break, we saw how they were struggling.
They were struggling before the international break, honestly.
3 points.
And
they lost against Arsenal.
It's not been easy for Chelsea. At some point, Chelsea were in the title race, but their manager kept saying that they were not in the title race.
Maybe that,
and the reality has speaking on them, honestly. But now I feel they should be able to get their way against Tottenham. The fact that they will be playing at the Stamford Bridge and their players, they don't really have any injury crisis. Jackson is back also. So for me, they should be able to fancy their chance. Whether United win against Nottingham Forest or not, they should just focus on their remaining games. It's still all to play for 9 more matches, and like I said, this is the business end of the season. Every point matters.
All right, guys, we are still on to sport today on Honor 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from Bodija, here in the beautiful city of Ibadan. I'll be going on a short commercial break right about now, and when we return from this break, I will take stories from basketball. In case you don't know, Rivers Opals We'll be leaving Lagos for the big bar tournament. We'll also tell our stories from tennis this afternoon. Don't forget the camp of Lobby Stars of Makurdi. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
On 103.5 FM.
Imagine having the freedom to work, play, and connect without interruptions. That is what fast internet means to us. At Highward Networks, we are passionate about delivering super fast, unlimited internet that is 6 times faster than the competition. Whether you're working from home, running a business, or streaming your favorite shows, we've got you covered. A reliable internet and 24/7 customer support ensure you stay connected always. So what are you waiting for? Join the iWorld Networks family today and discover a seamless internet experience. Call Jeffrey on 081 3058 9466 or visit our website www.iwn.ng to get started. iWorld Networks, connected possibilities.
On 103.5 FM.
All right, welcome back from that short commercial break. You are still on to sport today on 103.5 FM. Quickly, let's take stories from the world of NBA this afternoon. Games that went down this morning. LA Lakers secured victory at home against the Rockets. They won the game 104 to 98. Also, we saw Brooklyn Nets securing victory away from home. Celtic also won this morning. Miami is securing victory. LA Clippers also won their game. Quickly, let's take stories from the Rivers Opals camp because they will leave in Lagos later today. They will go into Rabat for the big Basketball African League. We saw their performance last season, and of course we are hoping for them to step up again, probably do the country proud.
Yeah, this is another opportunity for them to represent Nigeria. They are not only representing their dreams, they are also representing Nigeria, like I said. And we know how they did last season, but we really want them to surpass expectation this season. Like I said, it's another opportunity for them. They've been very, very good, and they made some recruitment. They've signed some players, some experienced players that have played in the competition last season. So we hope that with the kind of reinforcement that they've made, recruitment that they've made, is going to boost their momentum. Their coach Odaolu says that they are going to do everything possible to make sure that they surpass expectation, to do very well than they did the last time out season. And we hope that since they've intensified their preparation in Lagos, they've been camping in Lagos, and they've played some friendly matches and just to get ready for the tournament proper. Now they will be leaving Lagos for Rabat. We know that their group is very, very difficult.
Very difficult.
They have some household names there that they are going to to go head to head with and trade tackles with. But I believe that they have also shown the glimpse of excellence, and we believe that they have all it takes to actually go all the way and challenge with the best of the best in Africa.
Let's keep the hope alive. Lobby Stars management accused player for match fixing. Yesterday we spoke about what happened at the camp of Lobby Stars of Makurdi, and the management came out just yesterday and accused the players of match fixing. What is going on in Makurdi?
Yes, this is very, 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 very funny. The incident that happened to them should not even be happening in the first place. Of course, it was very, very worrisome and uninspiring to hear that the players were attacked and they were locked in the bus for 30 minutes. They were beaten up by some suspected cultists, and up until now we've not heard any news that the suspected culprits have been apprehended, because I think that should be the first step. To instead of the management to apprehend the cultists, to apprehend them and bring them to the book. They are now coming out to say that the players they were involved in match fixing. So this actually should not be happening, and this is not really encouraging from the management, because I expect them to actually address the menace of what happened to the players instead of addressing the worrisome incident that that took place a few days ago. They are coming out to say that the players were involved in match. Are they telling us that maybe they suspected them for match fixing? Are they justifying what's happened to the players? Are they saying that because they were suspected for match fixing is the reason why the corporates had everything, to
I mean, we know that a lot is going on behind the closed door.
I said it yesterday.
In that team, they have been
Lobby
struggling. They have been struggling
Of course.
all season long, playing away from home, traveling from one place to another, and of course now, I mean, who do know attacking players?
It has never been easy for Lobby Stars this season. They've been very, very poor. They've been below the par this season, and I don't really think the problem is actually the player. You cannot put all the blames on the player.
Players, yeah.
Of course, it's a shared blame. Both the management, they are also responsible for the performance of the player, because if the teams are getting it right, just like we are praising the management of Remo Stars and some leagues and some clubs that are doing well in the league, that's how you blame the management if the team are not also doing fine. So it's not only the players that you should be putting the blame on. I don't really see any. They don't. If they have a case, if they have evidence of players, involving in the match, they should bring it out and let the public see with evidence. Instead, and also, I have not seen them taking any measures or decisive,
to do the proper investigation of what happened in camp.
Of what happened to the players. They have not addressed it.
They'll be playing tomorrow,
and they'll be playing a very crucial game, an FA Cup round of 32 match tomorrow. So for me, the players, they are not. It's obvious that they would never be. They are not in good spirits, and their momentum will definitely reduce. So we just hope that things will get sorted out for Lobby Stars, because this is not good for the management.
All right, in table tennis, Aruna Quadri has dropped to number 2 in Africa and 19 in world ranking in the latest ranking released earlier hours of today. Yes, we spoke about we need new players in table tennis.
Is it every 3 market day?
Well.
They are doing their ranking, because just few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago,
this is the latest ranking.
We saw that's what I'm asking. Is it every 3 days, or we need to know the interval?
Can be any day. Tomorrow they can come up with another latest.
And it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course, it shouldn't be like that. There needs to be a definitive time for this ranking.
Or
FIFA ranking.
If we have a major tournament in between.
Exactly. The last tournament that they played was Africa Table Tennis Championship. That I think he lost his title to the guy from Egypt.
Yeah.
And so for me, I don't really know more about it, so I would not really speak about it. But I think there should be a specific time for this ranking to be coming out.
Meaningful tournaments should be in place before releasing the latest ranking.
And what are the yardsticks for this ranking? Is it their current performance? Because the last time this guy was in action was that tournament, and they came up with latest ranking after the tournament. Now another ranking is out. What are the yardsticks to it?
We'll wait and see and get latest information from the world of table tennis. But then, before we start our BYE on the show this afternoon, let's take stories from the African continent football. This time around, from the AFCON under 17. Nigerian side missing out of this big tournament. But then we saw South Africa playing their game yesterday against Egypt. They came back from behind to secure victory 4-3. And for Burkina Faso, they won against Cameroon 2-1. Tanzania lost against Zambia, and Morocco host defeated Uganda by 5-0. And later today, Senegal will be in action against Gambia, Mali against Angola, Somalia will be playing against Tunisia, while Ivory Coast also will be in action against Central Africa.
That South African match was a very good game. 3-3 at halftime, 6 goals in the first half, and South Africa came back and they won that game. Quite unfortunate that the Golden Eaglets were missing.
The most successful team,
5-time world champion, and I remember the time the likes of Kelechi Iheanacho won this tournament was I think the tournament was held in Egypt then, and they won it. And look at Kelechi Iheanacho. So this is just like a platform where you get to see prospects, and then
of Victor
of course they also pass through this under 17. The NFF should just go back to the drawing board and address what made Nigeria to not participate in this tournament. And don't forget, this tournament will now be held every year. So next year
we should be ready for it.
Be part of the
competition. All right, later today, 3 games will be going down in the Premier League, like we mentioned. But then Wolves will be playing against West Ham. Quick one, guy.
That's a relegation battle.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one.
16,
fighting
17.
For survivor.
But West Ham.
But then I'll give it to West Ham United.
Yeah, they are at home. But Wolves, Wolves,
they are playing away from home
at the Molina Stadium. Wolves, I don't see Wolves losing tonight because they would definitely want to close the gap between them and West Ham. And a win today would definitely, boost their hope for survivor. They need to get the maximum point. They are playing at home.
We wait and see what will happen. But then, quick one prediction. Fulham.
Arsenal definitely. Arsenal are going to win that game. I don't know the scoreline, but I believe 3 points in the back for me.
All right. Also, I'll give it to United later this evening because Chelsea fans are crying. So
because of Chelsea, you are giving it to
I'm not a Chelsea fan. I used to be a Chelsea fan, right?
What team do you support now?
I support football. All right, Victor, thank you so much for being part of our world this afternoon. Until I come your way again later tomorrow for a fresh edition of Sport Today. My name is Ayomikun Adeniyi. Samuel, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of the Tuesday. The boys in the building.
Have a wonderful
new month.
All right,
see you tomorrow.